Every year, on the day that's been marked by dread and despair, my heart pounds a little harder, my breaths become a little shallower. As the date approaches, the air in our small, nondescript town becomes with anticipation. A cruel pattern has etched itself into our lives, a chilling calendar event that sends shivers coursing through my veins. It's as if our peaceful existence is punctuated by a ghostly specter that haunts us, the curse of disappearance that leaves behind nothing but an empty space, a hollow echo of what once was. We, the townsfolk, are left to grapple with the maddening unknown, the fear gnawing at us. Could I be next? Could my neighbor, my friend, family be the one to vanish without a trace? The inexplicableness of it is akin to a dark cloud hovering over us, leaving us in perpetual twilight. Are no notes, no signs of struggle, just an abrupt void where a life once thrived. Wild theories float around town, each one more far-fetched than the last. Some whisper about alien abductions, others talk of hidden portals to a parallel universe. Ancient curses and vengeful spirits seeking restitution are spoken about in hushed tones. But these mere attempts, desperate grasps at straws, in a bid to make sense of the senseless. Efforts by the local law enforcement and the occasional nosy outsider have proven futile. The remains as impenetrable as the hopelessness it brings. The pattern, its relentless precision, continues to mock us, to remind us of the terror that grips our hearts, a terror we can't escape. But amidst the dread, there's a sliver of hope. A local detective who has stood witness to this chilling drama unfolding year after finds himself in the eye of the storm, when the disappearance touches him personally. Until then, we were just helpless spectators of our own nightmare. But now maybe we have a chance at understanding, at breaking free from this cycle of fear. Because sometimes it takes a hitting close home to ignite a spark of defiance, to stir a man into action. Welcome to the tale of John, a local detective who was seen through the eyes of the townsfolk as a beacon of hope during a dark time. His life intersected with a chilling mystery that had ripped through his family. John was perceived as more than just another detective. To the townsfolk, he was a man of astounding intellect, undeniable intuition, and robust grit, a beacon of light in the grim mystery that had befallen their tight-knit community. When the eerie pattern of vanishing locals on his own door, it wasn't just another case for him. It was deeply personal, and that hit a chord with the townsfolk. The disappearance of John's spirited sister, someone who had brought joy with her infectious smile, left an indelible mark on the town. The townsfolk empathized with John, but they knew his conversation with grief required more than just sympathy. It demanded answers. John found a purpose in his loss, a quest for justice that fueled his determination. The townsfolk watched as he relentlessly pursued leads, examined old files, and scrutinized minute details. His unwavering dedication and unshakable determination had the town in awe. Every stone he turned, every clue he pursued, and every hunch he chased was a testament to his tireless investigation. His efforts became the topic of many town gatherings. His courage and tenacity were not just admired, but revered. The whispers of his undeniable ability to solve the mysterious disappearance were heard around the town. Yet, the townsfolk knew that their admiration and whispers wouldn't bring the vanished back. They understood the pain and the constant reminder of his loss that John endured with each passing day. Yet John's relentless pursuit of the truth, his determination to piece together the complex puzzle, one clue at a time, nothing short of inspiring. The townsfolk knew the road ahead was fraught with uncertainties, but they also knew John wouldn't falter. He was the embodiment of their hopes, their quest for truth and closure for the families who had lost their loved ones. John's resolve was palpable. He was determined to unravel the mystery, whatever the cost, and the townsfolk proudly stood behind him. As John delved deeper into the mystery, the whispers amongst the small town's residents louder. "He's onto something," they'd murmur, their faces lit by a flicker of hope each time John unearthed a clue that had been ignored for years. A silent, anticipatory buzz was felt in the air as their local detective, John, made significant strides into the heart of the enigma that had haunted their town for decades. The townsfolk would gather at library, watching in awe as John pored over dusty archives. They shared hushed conversations when he discovered a pattern that had eluded all those who had attempted to solve the mystery before him. The missing persons, it turned out, not only disappeared on the same day every year, but were also born on that very date. This revelation caused it to ripple through the crowd of onlookers, Fear and intrigue mingled, giving rise to chilling realization. This was no random occurrence. This was a deliberate act, carefully calculated. As John read out the cryptic note left behind by the first person to disappear, the town held its collective breath. When the clock strikes 12, the unseen awaits. These words, initially dismissed as nonsensical, were now seen in a new light, filled with ominous portent. The townsfolk watched, wide-eyed and hopeful, as John connected the dots, realizing that every disappearance occurred at the stroke of midnight. This revelation led John to delve into the town's ancient folklore. Tales of a shadowy figure, known as began to circulate among the townsfolk. These narratives, previously dismissed as mere ghost stories, now carried a terrifying weight of reality. The news of John's discovery sent waves of hope through the small town. Their mystery, now less impenetrable, seemed close to being solved. As John continued his investigation, the townsfolk eagerly followed his progress. Could this lead be the key to solving the decades-long mystery? They asked each other in hushed whispers. Only time would tell. But for now, hope had rekindled in the hearts of the small town's residents, buoyed by the promise of John's relentless pursuit. As the revelation unfolded, a tremor of shock rippled through the residents of the town. Each person found themselves standing on the precipice of a truth so profound and terrifying, it shattered their perception of the town they knew, the town they loved, was both familiar and alien now, a place that held a secret in its very core. It was as if they had walked into a room where every object held a different narrative, a hidden truth waiting to be exposed. The townsfolk began to connect the dots, started to realize that the missing people, their neighbors and friends, were not merely inhabitants. They were the town's silent guardians, the brave few who knew the town's secret and had sworn to protect it. And that vow, it seemed, had a significant price. The secret? It was not a treasure or a hidden artifact of great power. It was a chilling truth about the town itself, a truth so terrifying that it could drive one to disappear to escape the weight of its reality. The town was alive, sentient, with a consciousness of its demanding a sacrifice annually on the same day. As the reality of their town sank in, the townsfolk felt a chill run through them. They lived in the core of a sentient being that could think, feel, and consume. Their friends and neighbors were not just disappearing, they were being absorbed, becoming one with the town, paying the price for the knowledge they held, for the secret they guarded. The revelation was a staggering blow to the townsfolk, a truth hard to digest, harder still to accept. They were now part of this secret, bound to the town, just like the missing before them. Just like that, the pieces of the puzzle began to fall into place. With the momentous disclosure, the riddle of the recurring vanishings was at last unraveled. John, our town's investigator, had deciphered the enigma. The clandestine lay encrypted within the annals of the town's past, shrouded beneath centuries of neglect. An age-old hex, a sinister bargain struck by the town's pioneers with a harmful spirit. Each year, the same day would witness the spirit claim a soul as recompense for the wealth the town relished. A significant breakthrough came when John unearthed the town's age-old records. A cryptic logbook, encased in tattered hide, held the spine-chilling reality. Every year, a new name was inscribed in the ledger coinciding with the day the individuals vanished. The last name written was that of John's own kin, the most recent casualty. The revelation was just the start of a daunting journey. John was determined to end the curse. He enlisted the aid of a seasoned woman, noted for her understanding of the supernatural. They hatched a scheme to deceive the spirit by presenting it a mirror in place of a soul. The spirit was ensnared within the mirror when it tried to claim its dues, thereby terminating the cycle of disappearances indefinitely. A wave of relief washed over the town. The day, once synonymous with fear and grief, was now a day of jubilation and thankfulness, a celebration of their newfound liberation and gratitude towards the man who had rescued them from their grim destiny. Was celebrated as a champion, not only for uncovering the mystery, but for liberating the town from its curse. His journey was a symbol of hope, a testament to the strength of resolve and the unyielding quest for truth, despite the treacherous path that lay ahead. And so, the enigma that once plagued this town was finally silenced, a testament to one man's unwavering quest for truth.